From Concordia University, Chicago in River Forest, it's Friday Night Hoops. It's the Cougars and the Dominican Stars. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Alex Campbell, this is Andrew Bellison reporting, welcoming you to Friday Night Hoops from Geisman Gymnasium on the campus of Concordia University. Well, Alex, they call it the Division Street rivalry. Tougher start to the season for the Cougars, but since have come back to win 2 of their last 3 and look to close the season strong here tonight with the final 2 regular season ball games against these Dominican Stars.
Absolutely, Andrew, and I'd say really over the last 4 games, we've seen 4 consecutive really solid offensive performances from these Cougars. Now, the 2 games they lost, one of the 2 they split with Aurora and against Loras College last time out, their opponent just shot the lights out. So this is a case where I don't think the Cougars can get too down on themselves. They have to know that as the season's gone on, they've been playing better basketball, conference tournament hopefully on the horizon, and so they're really in a position now battling for seeding in the South Division of the NAC that I think they should feel pretty good about where they're at, and I think they're a better basketball team right now than their record reflects.
Well, you alluded to what I'd like to talk about next. Obviously, there are playoff implications potentially this weekend. 2 ball games against the Dominican Stars tonight and tomorrow as well. Concordia now the 4th seed, as you said, in that Southern Division of the NAC, and a lot on the line here as the season winds down. You have a good beat on this team. What's a big key for you for the weekend as you look to see what Concordia can do against their rivals from down the street?
So what we've seen over this season is really the biggest difference maker for Concordia when you look at the stats, are they going to win or lose a game, is they need to get scoring depth. Jordan Matthews, the junior guard, transfer from Loras College, has been excellent all season long, and especially over the last couple weeks, he shows up every night on the offensive end for this team. The question is, does he get help? Guys like Isaac Riddell and Emmanuel Wilson and Justin Greenlee, even freshman William Bishop Green who chips in from time to time. When these Cougars can get some depth on their scoring, they are a dangerous team. Jordan Matthews, though, can't do it by himself, and generally in these games, you can tell pretty early if it's going to be enough. Brent Hatton's been a big key. Hatton scoring in double figures in all 4 of his games since coming back this season. He'll be a guy to watch tonight.
You mentioned Jordan Matthews, Alex. He's averaging almost 18 a game, team leader, 40% from 3. Obviously, like you said, you need a team effort in 2 conference games against the Dominican Stars, but you need him to continue that high level of play to have a chance here at home tonight.
Absolutely. Jordan Matthews, a guy who absolutely fills the score sheet. He's got 34 assists, 20 steals this season, really the leader of what is an incredibly aggressive defense for these Cougars. 9th in the nation in total steals are Concordia. Jordan Matthews, a guy who is a leader for this team, a team that doesn't have a lot of seniors, so the leadership often falls down the pecking order a bit in terms of class here, and Jordan Matthews has been a massive leader for this team stepping up.
Alex, as for the Stars, they come into play tonight having played just 7 games on the COVID-shortened season. They're winless in conference play, but the lone bright spot, senior Jackson Smith, he's been huge for this ball club all year, and he's averaging 27 a game. Watch out.
And with that 27, the leading scorer this season in the NAC, he also has 30 assists on the season, so everything positive for these Stars begins and ends on the offensive end with Smith. The Stars only average 79 points a game, so his 27, over a third of his team's output for the season. So I think Steve Kohler is going to be saying to his defense tonight, if we can lock down him, we could really, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but this is a game that if you shut down Jackson Smith, the Cougars have the offensive potential to blow open.
Should be a fun night. Friday Night Hoops, playoffs on the line. Stars and Cougars, lineups, anthem, and tip when we return. This is Cougars basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask everyone to please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your hats. As we honor America, the men and women of our military, and our first responders with the playing of our national anthem. ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium for the first of this two-game weekend series, men's basketball between the Stars of Dominican University and the Cougars of Concordia University, Chicago. Let's meet tonight's starters first for the visiting Stars. At guard, a 6'2" freshman from Norwich, number 12, John Dzinski. At forward, a 6'4" senior from Sandwich, number 13, Jackson Smith. At guard, a 6'3" senior from Rockford, number 14, Luke McDermott. At forward, a 6'5" senior from Los Angeles, California, number 20, KJ Redfield. And at forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Trevor, Wisconsin, number 33, Dylan Anderson. The assistant coaches are Troy Consul, Aaron McMillan, and Rasheed Weston. And the head coach of the Stars is Mark White. And now, here are the starters for your Concordia Chicago Cougars. At guard, a 6'1" freshman from Brown Deer, Wisconsin, number 1, Justin Greenlee. At guard, a 6'2" freshman from Legion, number 23, Emmanuel Wilson. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Olney, number 10, Brent Patton. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Chicago, number 12, Jordan Matthews. And at guard, a 6'3" junior from St. Joseph, Michigan, number 14, Isaac Rudell. The assistant coaches are Jordan Foster, Kevin Howard, and Matt Melke. And the head coach of the Cougars is Steve Kohler.
Longtime public address voice here at Geisman Gymnasium, Jim Egan. Jim, thank you. Alongside Alex Campbell, Andrew Bellison with you. Friday Night Hoops. It's the Division Street rivalry. Concordia University, Chicago, and the Dominican Stars. Alex, run us through those starters one more time.
Yeah, let's take a look again at the starting lineup. First for the Dominican Stars, number 12, John Dzinski. Number 13, Jackson Smith, the leading scorer. Number 14, Luke McDermott. Number 20, KJ Redfield. And number 33, Dylan Anderson. The Cougars are unchanged from Wednesday night. Number 1, the freshman Justin Greenlee. Number 10, sophomore Brent Hatton. Number 12, junior Jordan Matthews. Number 14, junior Isaac Riddell. And number 23, freshman Emmanuel Wilson.
All right, Alex, thank you. Brent Hatton and KJ Redfield for Dominican at center court for the tip. And the Stars control the basketball first here tonight, working from right to left on the light-colored wood floor of Geisman Gymnasium. Tight defense by Matthews there. Now inside go the Stars. Back out to the left, dribble is Redfield. In the lane, little floater off the glass, gets it to fall, and the Stars take a 2-0 lead after one possession.
Redfield only averaging 6 a game, but is shooting over 43% from the floor.
Here's Chicago now on the other end. Good ball movement with 16 on the shot clock. Just underway here in the first period on a Friday evening in River Forest. Turnaround left hand baby hook, no good from Hatton, and the Stars yank down the board. They'll push it again. Right corner, it's Dzinski. Now he takes it back on top and finds Redfield. They'll try to work it down low again. That's Dylan Anderson. Right hand waist-high dribble. Here's penetration into the lane. Now a kick out. Good ball movement back to the top. Anderson can't get that to fall, and the Cougars yank down the rebound.
Anderson firing from 3 there. He's just 26% from downtown, so the Cougars will take that shot from the Stars.
Riddell grabbed the board. Now the other end. Here's a 3 from Wilson, and he connects. Emmanuel Wilson, first bucket of the game for the Cougars. They lead it 3-2. Wilson this year is 37% from beyond the arc. He's been very good.
And showing early here why Coach Steve Kohler continues to pick him as a starter. Brent Hatton picked up the foul there, I think.
Team fouls on number 10, Brian Hatton. His first.
That's correct, Alex. Fouls on Hatton, first of the evening, and the first for the team. So the Stars will inbound, and they give it to Jackson Smith. Watch out for him. 27 a game, as we discussed in the intro. Here's Anderson, gives it off to Redfield. Pull up in the lane, can't get that to fall. Rebound tapped around, controlled by the Stars. It's Anderson grabbing it himself. Dominican's going to reset here, Alex, and you hate to give him a second chance.
And if there's one thing the Cougars would like to see themselves improve on, it's not giving up so many second chance opportunities to the teams they face.
Jackson Smith, right-hand dribble, drive in the lane, off the rim, too strong. Second chance opportunity from Redfield, and he's hacked on the way up. I believe he's going to shoot a pair.
And that's already 2 fouls early on here for Brent Hatton, so Coach Steve Kohler's hand being forced early.
Brent Hatton, his team second. Two-shot foul at the line, number 20, KJ Redfield.
Redfield makes good on his first from the charity stripe. Justin Schwartz is going to check in and relieve Brent Hatton, who's got those 2 early fouls, as you mentioned, Alex. Second from Redfield is good as well.
And with Schwartz coming in, that's really been the only change we've seen over these last several games in the lineup. Usually it's Emmanuel Wilson and J.J. Schwartz switching off. So both of them being on the floor at once this early in the game, not something we've seen. But again, the fouls against Hatton forcing the Cougars to adjust their plans.
4-3 early on here in the first period, 7.5 to go. 3 attempt out of the right hand of Isaac Riddell, too strong, and the Stars grab the board. They look to push it into the hands of McDermott. Left side, ball poked away on the ground, being fought for, and we're going to have a jump ball. Isaac Riddell with a good job there of poking that one away. Scrappy defense at the half-court line.
And we've talked all year about how Jordan Matthews and Isaac Riddell as juniors have really taken the role of the leaders of this team, of the de facto co-captains of this team, and the effort they put on defensively, both of them, especially guarding the guards of the opposite team. We see that a lot, and Riddell with an early example here tonight of that effort defensively.
Came in with 20 steals, tied for first on the club. He also leads Concordia with 10 blocks. So Cougars will retain possession. 17:06 to go. They trail 4-3 early on first period. Dribble drive, stop in the lane, and Emmanuel Wilson finishes.
Wilson with the opening 5 points of the night here for the Cougars.
Hot hand early for Wilson. Back on the other end. Jump shot out of the right hand of Redfield, no good. Ball out of bounds and will belong to Dominican. We'll stay on this side of the floor.
Checking into the game for the Cougars, number 3, William Bishop Green, and also number 15,
William Bishop Green's going to see some action now for Concordia, as will Kenta Jones, their first minutes of the night.
In the game for Dominican, number 2, Gavin Richardson.
Both guys who've been incredibly consistent contributors this year. Kenta playing in all 12 games, Bishop Green in 11.
And for Dominican, Alex Gavin Richardson on the floor as well, sophomore guard from Missouri. In the lane, right-hand layup from Jackson Smith is good.
The first points of the night for what Dominican will hope is a characteristic high number, and Concordia hoping to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. It's been okay so far in this game. He hasn't dominated too much as the Cougars turn it over.
Emmanuel Wilson thought about firing from 3, but walked before he could get the ball out of his hands. So the Stars will inbound in front of the bleachers in front of us, off to our right. 16:25 to go, first half of basketball. Here come the Stars working right to left. It's KJ Redfield in the lane, layup is good, and it's 8-5 Stars. Back the other way. Give to Jones in the lane, no good. Rebound pulled down. Spinning now, left hand. Switch to the right, and the finger roll is through. Jordan Matthews, nice move inside there. Concordia team leader, and now the Cougars will apply a little pressure in the backcourt.
Jordan Matthews this season has shown there is no gap too small that he will not charge through on his way to the hoop.
Anderson right-hand dribble, hands it off. 3-ball attempt is no good out of the hands of McDermott, and here come the Cougars the other way. At the top, it's Jordan Matthews. Now he drives in the lane, floats it up with the left hand, no good. Grabs his own board, and it's fought for underneath. He connects with Dylan Anderson, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul.
Meanwhile, Joel Childers in for the first time tonight for the Cougars. Isaac Riddell back into the game as well. Didn't see who the foul was called on.
So here's the Cougars inbounding underneath their basket. In the lane, short jump shot out of the hand of Schwartz is no good. Stars are going to push it the other way. Dominican looking to add to their 8-7 lead, and they can't do it on that possession. Another whistle and a turnover. We're going to come back the other way.
As I mentioned, we haven't seen Jackson Smith handle the ball that much, but KJ Redfield has been involved on seemingly every offensive possession. Maybe he's that first alternate option right now for Dominican if the Cougars are going to take away Smith.
It's a good point, Alex. Redfield, 46% shooter from beyond the arc this season, so he's definitely capable from distance. See what Concordia can do on this possession. Open look inside, and Justin Schwartz can't convert. Here come the Stars the other way. Bucket is good, and a whistle and a foul as well. Good, strong finish there by Smith. And he's going to head to the line to try to cap off a three-point play. He is a force, Alex.
And Bishop Green trying to get his feet set there, maybe just a half a step slow in that process. But after a quiet opening couple of minutes, Jackson Smith starting to find the basketball.
Smith with a free throw upcoming will look to complete the three-point play, and he does. Nearly an 80% shooter from the charity stripe so far this year, and he connects on that one to cap off the 3-for-1. So it's 11-7, Stars with the early lead, 14:42 to go here in the first period. Perimeter movement from the Cougars, and the ball's poked away. Now the Stars are going to lose it on the other end in the corner, saved by Concordia, but batted back to Dominican, and they're going to try to reset. Jackson Smith says, let's start this one over. Back to McDermott on top as he directs traffic. He's met by William Bishop Green. McDermott puts the ball on the ground, dribbles to his right. Green still on him tightly at the top. 11 seconds to shoot. They work it inside. Lay in no good. Stars with the board, and he'll convert and clean it up.
Mercado, who played just 4 minutes last game and did not score. An early bucket for him in this game, and if Dominican's able to find some depth of scoring to help out Smith, it's a whole game changer for the way you've got to approach this if you're Concordia.
Mercado's first bucket of the night. Finger roll off the right hand for Kenta Jones is too strong, and the Stars are going to come back this way strong again. Now they'll slow it down. McDermott to Redfield. Over to Gavin Richardson. They're going to try to go down low to Jackson Smith. Free throw line extended. Right-handed dribble. Swing pass to the right corner. Three ball from Redfield, and he connects. Alex, we talked about it. He's dangerous from out there.
And I mentioned 30 assists this season for Jackson Smith, so if he's not getting the open look, a guy who's been great all year at creating shots for his teammates.
16-7, timeout Chicago, 13:26 to go here in the first period. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Cougars Basketball. (16-7) early on, first half of basketball at Geisman Gymnasium in Concordia. Steve Kohler in his second season at the helm of the Cougars men's basketball program, and on the verge of a conference tournament appearance here, barring the outcome of this weekend's ball games against the Dominican Stars. So a lot of the line for the Cougars and for the Stars for that matter, although there's someone on the outside looking in.
Stars know, and we don't know exactly what the postseason field's going to look like in the NAC, but Dominican knows they've got to win both of these games if they want to finish anything but dead last.
Matthews crossover dribble, picks it up, now hops in the lane and finishes with the left hand. Jordan Matthews cuts the lead to 7.
The go-to man as usual for Concordia when they really need a basket.
Luke McDermott met by Matthews now on the other end, just on this side of the half-court line. McDermott picks up his dribble, flips it to Richardson. Now they try to go down low. Kick ball out of bounds off of the Concordia Cougars. It was the left foot of William Bishop Green, and the Stars will keep the basketball.
Meanwhile, we're going to see Dwayne Burns for the first time this evening. Senior guard from Maywood, Illinois.
Stars inbound under their basket. Now lose possession, and Emmanuel Wilson's there to pick it up. Here's Greenlee pushing. He just checked in. Free throw line, picks up his dribble. Good ball movement on the perimeter for the Cougars, but there's a traveling violation. Jordan Matthews had his eye on the basket there, but he got a little quick-footed.
We saw this a bit on Wednesday night as well. There was a 3 or 4 minute period where the Cougars committed 4 straight turnovers. They all kind of looked like that. They got to know that they've got the offensive capability to get back into this game. They can't feel rushed when we've still got over 12 minutes to go here in the first half. Plenty of time for Steve Kohler's guys to get back in this one.
3 turnovers for each club here so far tonight. 12-12 to play, first half of basketball. 15 to shoot for the Stars. On top is Mercado. He's going to hand it off to McDermott. And now back to Smith. They go back down to Mercado. Right hand, waist-high dribble, spinning in the lane. No good. Too strong off the glass. And Concordia comes down with it. Pushing left to right is now Dwayne Burns. They kick it to the corner. Here's Justin Green finding the lane. Kick out to the top. 3, too strong out of the hand of Jordan Matthews. And Dominican's going to push it the other way. Jackson Smith underneath in traffic goes up, can't convert, but he was hacked, and he's going to head to the free throw line once again.
Called that on Emmanuel Wilson. It was Justin Greenlee who had a swing, and from our vantage point looked like he got the ball, which might have been the case given that he was not deemed the guilty party for the foul.
Stars are 3 for 3 from the line so far tonight.
And Jackson Smith's excellent at getting to the free throw line. For example, last game he shot 12 free throws, made 9 of them. You mentioned earlier he's a solid free throw shooter, 79%. So, we talked about it. He's scoring 27 a night. That's made it a lot easier if you get 12 free looks at the basket.
Smith makes good on both. Yeah, good point, Alex. He came in with 62 attempts from the free throw line on the season, and he's already been there twice so far tonight. So don't need to help him out any when it comes to scoring. 18-9 now. Stars have opened up their largest lead of the game, 9 points. Let's see if Concordia can answer. Coming out of the right corner, kicked out to Justin Greenlee. In the lane, too strong. Ball is fought for and pulled down eventually by Smith, and he's going to push it the other way. Ahead to Redfield. Strong ball movement. Here's Andre Hughes. Kicks it back out to Mercado. Swing pass, right side in front of the Cougars bench. 3 is short, out of the right hand to Jackson Smith, and the rebound is yanked down by Wilson. Cougars would love to get something going offensively here. Burns Jr. finds Greenlee on top. He's going to back it down inside. Right hand baby hook, too strong. KJ Redfield with the rebound.
Cougars getting decent looks right now in the offensive end, just not able to get the rolls and not able to get the shots to go, but they can't be deterred by that. That was, I think, a good shot from Justin Greenlee. I think he'll take that look.
Here's Jackson Smith spinning in the lane and a whistle before the shot. That's going to go against Smith and the Stars, and the Cougars will get the basketball back.
And even though you might look at every offensive trip equally, coming off an opposing turnover when you're trailing by 9 like this, these are really big offensive possessions for Concordia. If you can turn turnovers into points, it's such a mental boost.
Handoff to Matthews in the lane, spinning with the right hand, too strong off the glass, can't get that to fall. and he struggled early on here tonight. Here's Mercado. Kick out to Redfield for three, too strong, into the hands of Matthews, who's going to push it for Chicago. Good perimeter movement by the Cougars. Wilson's going to fire one from distance, and it's off the mark, tapped out of bounds, and it's going to belong to Chicago. Looked like Mark White, the Dominican University head coach, thought otherwise, but Chicago will retain possession.
Isaac Riddell coming back in for Concordia. Brent Hatton remains on the bench with those two fouls picked up in the opening moments.
So Chicago will inbound the basketball from the end of the Dominican Stars bench. The inbound out of the hand of Dwayne Burns Jr. is knocked out again. So now Justin Greenlee's going to handle the inbounding duties, and he does so successfully. Here's a three attempt out of the right hand of Isaac Riddell, who just checked in, and he gets that one to drop.
There's the instant offensive impact Steve Kohler would have been looking for with Riddell checking back in off the bench.
Riddell second on the team, coming in with over 13 points a game. And those are his first three tonight. Here's the Stars on the other end. Kick out to the top to Hughes, behind the back dribble, now finds McDermott, who's going to drive the lane. Back to Hughes, three to shoot. The lefty fires a tray, and it comes up short. Rebound into the hands of Riddell. He'll take it across himself. Now hands off to Matthews in the lane, left-handed floater, no good, but he was hit. And Matthews is going to head to the line.
Jordan Matthews, a phenomenal free throw shooter, pushing 86% this season. It's one of the other benefits of him working to the hoop often. Not only does he finish a lot of the time, when he doesn't, if he takes contact, he's reliable from the line.
To your point, Alex, he makes good on his first. Jackson Smith's going to check back in for the Stars after a quick breather. He'll grab KJ Redfield, who will sit down.
And three subs for the Cougars, including Brent Hatton coming back into the game, so he knows he's got to be careful on the defensive end. Definitely something to watch over the next few minutes. Kenta Jones and Jordan Schmidt coming in as well.
Second free ball attempt from Matthews is too strong. 5 points early on for Matthews. 18-13 Stars with the lead. Inside 10 minutes, inside 9 minutes, 8:45 to play. Underneath, spin move. Dylan Anderson tries to finish up his own mess and can't do it, but it looked like there was a whistle and a foul that's going to be on.
I think they just called out of bounds.
Anderson, he was out of bounds on the baseline, I think, Alex.
Yeah, I think on his attempt to save that ball, I think the heel of his right shoe hit the baseline. So another one of these possessions where it could be a big boost to the Cougars after your opponents come up empty.
Anderson was spinning in traffic down there and ran out of room. Here's Brent Hatton underneath. Picks up his dribble, now with a left hand, too strong off the back of the rim. He wanted that one to fall. He claps his hands in disgust after, and the Stars are going to push it the other way. Behind the back, Smith on top, finds Anderson, who hands off to Hughes. The lefty picks up his dribble at the free throw line, now works it down low. Into the hands of Jackson Smith, who turns and is going to be fouled on the shot attempt. He's going to head back to the free throw line and attempt another pair.
Jordan Schmidt coming off the bench, picking up his first foul. And this is what we were talking about, especially, Andrew, between two teams that don't have a lot of size. There was that opportunity for anybody to back down in the post, and Smith has shown he's very comfortable taking the ball to the hoop on the low post.
3 for 3 tonight from the line, makes good on his first attempt. 6 boards already for Smith. He's got 8 points now, so he is not disappointed. We talked him up in the pregame a little bit, and he's been as advertised. 20-13 after 2 free throws out of the right hand to Jackson Smith. Inside 8 minutes to play here in the first half. 20-13. Big weekend of basketball here in River Forest between the Concordia University Cougars and the Dominican Stars. Let's see if the Cougars can claw back into this one. Into the lane, runner out of the right hand to Riddell, no good. Second attempt, no good again. And a jump ball off the rebound between Dylan Anderson and Jordan Schmidt. is whistled and possession will go to Dominican. Good fight under the boards.
Heads up play there by Schmidt. His other 4 teammates had already tracked back. Schmidt able to flip that possession arrow.
7:40 remaining, first half of basketball from River Forest. We're going to take a timeout and step away. You're listening to Cougars basketball. (20-13), 7:40 to play, first half of basketball from Geisman Gymnasium in River Forest. Possession arrow pointing to the Stars. They'll inbound. It'll be Andre Hughes crossing the timeline, met by Kenta Jones. Hughes, the left-hander, bounce pass to Gavin Richardson on top. Nowhere to go. Richardson met by Jordan Schmidt. Tight defense. Now he unloads it. That's Smith. Looking to go down low on the post again. He does. Spinning, finishing with the right hand. Too strong. Off the glass, off the rim, tipped around. Cougars have the rebound. They push it ahead quickly the other way and find Isaac Riddell, who finishes. Good bucket in transition there, 20-15. 5-point lead now for the Stars. Inside 7 minutes to go. Luke McDermott nearly lost that before getting it down low to Dylan Anderson. Anderson tries to go up, has it tipped away. Stars look to reset. 11 seconds on the shot clock now. Down low, Anderson again, mishandled it again. It rolls out of bounds, but Dominican will get the ball back.
Only 6 seconds to shoot, though. Opportunity here for the Cougars to lock down on defense and get a stop.
William Bishop Green back into the ball game for Chicago. He'll guard the inbounder, Gavin Richardson. Richardson inbounds from in front of the bleachers out to our left. 3 to shoot, now 2. Long off-balance 3 attempt at the buzzer. Short, no good out of the right hand of McDermott. Here come the Cougars. It's Jordan Matthews now back to the top to William Bishop Green. He gets the jump shot to fall, and suddenly, Alex, it's a 3-point lead, 20-17.
Cougars right back in this one, and William Bishop Green contributing with his first points of the night.
30-second timeout here as the lead.
Against them. Their way. They've just got to keep believing that they know they can win this game.
Coming out of the timeout, the Cougars will apply a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. Jordan Schmidt on Luke McDermott as he pushes it nearing the timeline, now crosses. 20-17, 6:10 to play here in the first half. Alex wanted a double dribble call, but he's not going to get it. Crowd coming to life here in a big Friday night game with playoff implications for the Cougars. That ball stripped away in the lane by William Bishop Green. Good defense down low.
We talk about the aggressive defense for the Cougars, how many steals they generate. William Bishop Green, as a freshman, has been an enormous part of that. He is a really active defender, has been a lockdown player on that side of the ball, has shown some flashes, some highlights on the offensive end as well, but that is what Coach Steve Kohler has him in the game to do.
He's got size, as you said, as an 18-year-old, 6'5", and he's been good. Bucket tonight and a great defensive play there. He'll control the ball in the lane now. Spinning right-hand waist-high dribble. Nearly has it taken away, but instead there's going to be a whistle and a foul. It looks like on KJ Redfield.
Redfield wanted to jump ball. Referee disagrees. Cougars keep possession. William Bishop Green showing his determination again there. He's a guy who will fight for every inch working his way to the basket.
Jordan Schmidt's going to check out of the ballgame for the Cougars, and he'll be replaced by Emmanuel Wilson. Cougars trail by 3.
Isaac Riddell and William Bishop Green trying to draw something up here, it looks like.
So it'll be Riddell to inbound under the Cougars' basket. Looking and slings it deep back out to the half-court line to Green. The left-hander has it. Met by Redfield, now a handoff. That's Jordan Matthews. Back to the top, shot fake Hatton. Into the lane, kicks it back out to Matthews. The left-handed 3-ball, no good. Tapped around underneath the boards, out of bounds, off the white brick wall behind the basket, and the Cougars are going to keep the basketball.
Good effort there on the offensive boards by Emmanuel Wilson, earning 20 more seconds here for the Cougars on the offensive end.
Another second chance opportunity here for Chicago. Off the inbound, it's Matthews. Back to the top, here's Wilson. He's going to hand it off to Riddell. In the lane, spinning with the right hand. Converts and cuts the lead to 1.
That's 7 points now for Isaac Riddell, all in the last 3 minutes or so.
Riddell with 7, Matthews with 5, Wilson with 5. They've been the offensive leaders for Chicago. So now the Stars go to work. They've seen their lead shrink to just 1 point. Into the lane, acrobatic move, bucket no good. Jackson Smith hit the ground real hard, and there's a whistle on the play.
William Bishop Green again trying to set a screen and, draw a charge. And that's the second on Bishop Green.
Reckless play there by Smith as he just had no regard for his body, flailing in the air and draws the foul.
But he gets what he wanted. Back to the free throw line again.
Back to the free throw line again and hits. He's 6 for 6 now, double digits for him, 10 points to go along with 7 boards. And he'll convert the pair again. So the lead back to 3 now, 22-19. Stars over the Cougars, 4:45 to play. Concordia Chicago working left to right. Jordan Matthews on the top, works off a screen, waist-high right-hand dribble, switches to the left hand, floater, turnaround jumper in the lane, yes.
The Cougars love that shot. Jordan Matthews especially driving to that weak side, spinning into his left hand, and just dropping it in.
Here's Smith on the other end of the lane, spinning and floating one up there. He gets that to fall.
Carbon copy from one end to the other, and Jackson Smith has really taken full control of the offense for the Stars.
Pace is picked up here. Riddell with the 3 attempt, short. Rebound yanked down by Chicago. They'll have another second chance opportunity here in a big Friday night matchup with their Division Street rival, the Dominican Stars. 7 to shoot. Kicked out to Matthews. The lefty penetrates the lane, flicks it off the glass with the left hand, and gets it to fall. Lead back to 1, 24-23 Stars.
Cougars are at their most dangerous when Jordan Matthews can find that space inside and go to the hole himself or dish for a teammate.
Off the left-handed dribble, Luke McDermott looked to glide through the lane and finish. He won't do it, but he is fouled.
It's another instance where the Cougars thought they had a block and the referee disagreed. J.J. Schwartz in that occasion.
McDermott looks for his first point of the evening, came in with 12 a game averaging and shooting nearly 52% from the floor, but slower start for him tonight.
Also now for the final 3:40, Dominican in the bonus. That was the 7th team foul against the Cougars. As a few players from the Cougars women's basketball team now coming into the gym. They were on the road today against Dominican.
Free throw converted for McDermott. 26-23, back to a 3-point lead. 3.5 left to go here in half number 1. Justin Greenlee controls the basketball at the top. Now finds Matthews. They'll kick it over to Riddell. Concordia now working underneath. Schwartz spinning, in trouble. And unloads it back to Matthews. 6 to shoot. Matthews step back. Long jump shot, yes.
Jordan Matthews now into double figures, and he has found his shot. Got it going with a few easier ones inside. A big three there to tie this game up.
26-26. Matthews with 12 on the evening. Stars look to answer as they've seen their lead completely disappear. Underneath, left-hand dribble and a finish for Jackson Smith. Man, he's so tough all over the offensive floor.
It's almost a full ISO offense right now. I can't really recall any other Stars player with most of the possession in a single trip for the last, 10 minutes or so.
28-26, Alex, excuse me. It looked like Justin Schwartz had a clear path to the basket there, but he couldn't control the basketball and kicked it out of bounds.
Just a bit of a mishandle on the handoff there.
2.5 to play, first half, 3-point game. Very entertaining basketball with playoff implications on the line here in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. Crowd into this one, as you can hear. Inside, that's Jordan Matthews. He won't convert. Here comes Concordia the other way. Greenlee controlled the basketball but took a shove in the back, and it's going to be a foul on Dominican.
Gavin Richardson picking up his first. And Matthews now having a brief conversation with Coach Kohler about what they're going to draw up here.
The officials converge as well, Alex, in front of us off to our right. They'll discuss the play.
They're going to change, I believe, who the foul was called against. They're signaling 25 right now. There is not a number 25 on the floor, so I'm not sure what the clarification there was.
We'll have to get official word from that as we progress. Nonetheless, the Cougars will inbound. Fresh shot clock, 2 minutes to play, trailing by 2. Here's Jordan Matthews into the lane, can't finish. Stars look to push it the other way. In the hand of McDermott. He's met on top. Tight defense there by Dwayne Burns Jr. Back to Jackson Smith, backing down with his right hand. He's going to pull up and float one up there off the back of the rim, no good. Second chance opportunity for the Stars. They can't convert. Dylan Anderson, no. Here's Chicago the other way. Justin Greenlee has that ball poked away. It's Jackson Smith. 2-on-1. Good feed to KJ Redfield. He's hacked on the way up, and he's going to go to the line and fire a couple. Well, the pace for both sides offensively, Alex, this half has been quick to say the least.
And it's been increasing as we've gone on here as Jordan Matthews picks up a foul. This time it's KJ Redfield going to the line. I think the Cougars might be a little relieved that it's anybody except Jackson Smith.
Redfield makes good on the first. He made a pair earlier on, and he's into double digits as well with 10. So for the Stars, it's Smith and Redfield with 25 of the 29 points that Dominican has.
And I said in the open, if Concordia can shut down Smith, it will force someone else to beat them. Well, we've really seen neither of those things happen in the Cougars' way. Smith having a good half and Redfield, a secondary scorer, having a great opening half as well, and that is why they've got a 4-point lead.
30-26, buck 17 to go here in half number 1. Sharp attack there into the lane, Riddell. He's clobbered as he tried to lay it off the glass. He'll slide all the way to the mats on the cinder block wall behind the Concordia basket. And he's going to fire a pair as well.
McDermott picking up his second foul. It was one short on my stat sheet. That adds up as Isaac Riddell hits the first.
Riddell's first attempt from the line this evening. Jordan Schmidt back on the floor for Chicago. He'll line up as Riddell attempts his second and gets the bottom of the net with that. So 30-28, 2-point contest. About a minute left to play here in half number 1. Andre Hughes met by Jordan Schmidt, and the pressure got to him. He flipped the ball out of bounds in front of the Cougars bench, and Chicago's going to get it back.
This is not a Dominican team that turns the ball over a ton, but they don't force hardly any turnovers either. So every time they do slip up, it has big implications for the turnover battle, knowing that they're not going to generate many on the other end.
55 seconds left to play. Jordan Matthews hands it off to Riddell. Now they go down low. Brent Hatton with the left hand gets it knocked away from behind. Jackson Smith with the strong defensive effort. Now he's going to push it himself before he hands it off to Hughes. The left-hander at the top swings it to the right side. Dylan Anderson now back down low. Jackson Smith regains a handle on it, but he was touched.
Isaac Riddell going to pick up his first. And 1-and-1 free throws upcoming as Emmanuel Wilson checks back in.
Well, you mentioned the bonus for Dominican, Alex. This has been the difference. The Stars have been to the line 13 times tonight, are 13 for 13. When you look at that compared to just 4 attempts for Chicago, it's a wonder it's only a 2-point ball game.
And this is the danger of Smith, who's at the line again, taking so many. Coming into tonight, Dominican shooting just 71% as a team from the line, but when this guy's taking most of them, as he misses the first of the night for him personally and the team, it's not what you want if you're Concordia.
About a 2-second difference, shot clock to game clock here, as Concordia will slow things down for what looks to be their final possession here in half number 1. They trail by 2, 30-28 to the Stars. 7 now to shoot. 6 seconds and 5. Concordia looking for a bucket here. In the lane, ball stripped away. Shot clock violation, no whistle. And with 1.9 seconds remaining, I don't know if they'll have enough time to do anything, but Dominican is going to get the ball back.
Well, Smith's being left open at the moment, and Concordia is going to want to fix that. They're not even going to want to give him a half-court heave.
So 2 of our officials converge in front of the scorers table at half court. They're going to talk over the last sequence before we proceed here, possibly.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if they add a little more time on here. You mentioned it was over a 2-second difference shot clock to game clock. We've got 1.9 on the board right now. So if this went up to something like, there's 2.0 at the moment, so I don't know if 1/10 is going to matter. 2.6, the official announcement, so that could be significant.
So 7/10 put back on the clock, and the Stars will restart play from under their basket. So we'll see what they have up their sleeve here. Not a ton of time, 2.6 to go. They do inbound. It's Smith. He crosses the timeline, flips up a prayer, and it's off the side of the glass, closer than you may expect. But, Alex, that was an entertaining half of basketball.
It absolutely was, and I think the Cougars, though they trail by 2 here, they've got to, like I said earlier, they got to be patient. They got to stay calm. That was not their best half of basketball, but they are still right in this game, and they know if they play to their potential, they can definitely win this basketball game. You look at the stats, Jackson Smith has 15 points, really took over this game as the half progressed. That's got to be a focal point for the Cougars going into the second half. Slow him down any means necessary.
30-28, Stars have the halftime lead. Don't go anywhere. Friday Night Hoops from Concordia University, Chicago. We return with the second half after this. You're listening to Cougars basketball.
Welcome back here to Geisman Gymnasium. Halftime between the Stars and the Cougars. Alex Campbell, Andrew Belisons. And Andrew, we were looking at that first half. Looking at the stats, you felt like Concordia Chicago, especially down the stretch, I think they were playing well enough to have the lead. Dominican shooting under 30% from the field. I think the Cougars will take what they've seen there, knowing that if they just keep persisting, they can, as I've been saying in that first half, they can win this basketball game, and they know they can win.
Yeah, we alluded to it a little bit earlier, Alex, and you said it at the break before we came back on the air, but 15 points for Jackson Smith for Dominican, 11 for KJ Redfield. 26 of the 30 points scored by those two individuals. And you pointed to the fact that the Stars have been to the line 14 times and converted 13 of those 14. That's been a huge difference in the first half.
That's the game right now, is the Stars getting to the free throw line, hitting their free throws. Concordia, maybe the focus isn't on totally shutting down Jackson Smith. Again, maybe you're trying to limit the shots to the outside. We talked about how he likes, backing down on the post, getting near the basket. He's drawing a lot of contact. If that's their only offense, though, the Cougars know on the other end, they've just got to pick it up a little bit. You're looking at the offensive rebounding numbers, just 2 in that first half for Concordia to 5 for Dominican. Got to limit those second chance opportunities, because the fact of the matter is, Jackson Smith was 4 of 9 in that first half. KJ Redfield 3 of 8. The rest of the team in that half, Andrew, was 8 of 27 from the floor. So if anybody else is shooting the ball, it's probably not going in. So, you just can't be giving them more chances to, even if the shots aren't likely to go in, limiting them to 1 shot per trip should really shut down this Dominican offense.
We talked about it a lot in the first half, Alex, but the pace was quick, and it got quicker as the half went on. Do you expect to see more of that from Chicago coming out in the second half, down 2?
I think absolutely. If you're looking at Concordia, they made 3 more shots from the floor than Dominican did in that first half. Again, the free throws are the difference. If you are Concordia, as many possessions as possible should be in your favor in this game. And we saw down the stretch Jordan Matthews and Isaac Riddell, as we expect them to do, shooting better, getting hotter from the floor. And if they can carry that into this second half, there is no reason that the Cougars should not continue to push the pace in this game and see it work in their favor.
Well, the conversation in the locker room at halftime from head coach Steve Kohler had to be, how can we contain, as you said, Jackson Smith and KJ Redfield, as they have dominated the scoring for the Stars in the first half anyway. It's only a 2-point game. These two teams know each other so well, and with playoff implications on the line here this weekend, this half of basketball suddenly becomes that much more important.
Absolutely, and I said it in the pregame. Make Jackson, either make Jackson Smith the only guy you're worried about, or let the rest of the Stars beat you. Again, besides Smith and Redfield, only one player, Gavin Richardson, made a shot in that first half. So, you can take one of 2 roads, but you've got to either really commit to it. You got to say, okay, we are going to make this one guy. If he wants to be a one-man team, fine, make him be a one-man team. Or you could take the other route of, we're going to totally shut him down, leave it to the rest of the team. But, Concordia took a bit of a middle road there. KJ Redfield took advantage of being able to get really good looks. So it'll be interesting to see in the opening couple of minutes of this second half what the Cougars' approach is defensively, particularly, with regard to Jackson Smith.
On the floor to start the second half for Chicago will be Justin Greenlee, Jordan Matthews, Isaac Riddell, Emmanuel Wilson, and Dwayne Burns Jr. Brent Hatton, who started the game in the starting 5, will come off the bench here in the second half. Starting 5 for Dominican return to start this second half as well. That's John Dazinski, Jackson Smith, Luke McDermott, KJ Redfield, and Dylan Anderson. Chicago will have the ball first to start period number 2, and it's knocked away out of the hand of Burns, and the Stars come the other way.
Cougars cannot afford to beat themselves. I mentioned in the first half, this is a Stars team that barely forces any turnovers, and Concordia can't help them out in that regard.
Jackson Smith drives the lane, then kicks it out to Redfield, who's met with contact as he puts the ball on the ground. Whistle and stoppage on the play. Fouls are going to be called on Dwayne Burns, his first of the night, and the Stars are going to inbound from in front of their bench off to our right of the scorer's table.
Stars went into the bonus with about 4 minutes to play in that first half. The Cougars can't let them get there any quicker this half.
3 from Anderson off the mark, rebound, grabbed by Dzinski. Stars with another second chance opportunity. Fighting in the lane is Smith. He can't convert, and Chicago's going to push it the other way. Good outlet to Matthews. Whistle on the way up, and a foul called on the Stars.
It's already the third now on McDermott here early in the second half. I think Concordia might have gotten a little bit of a generous call. The referee looked blocked out there by the body of McDermott. Not sure Jordan Matthews had control all the way up there, but he'll certainly take the 2 free throws, and the main man that Concordia would want at the line.
So Matthews heads to the line for the second time tonight. Makes good on the first. He's 2 for 3 now. 13 for the Chicago offensive star. And with Dwayne Burns in to start this second half for the Cougars, it's somewhat to what you alluded to, Alex, is they need his defensive hustle and scrappy play in there to try to contain the big two for Dominican.
He's kind of in that same class with William Bishop Green. He's expected to get in there, mix things up a bit and just, take away space for the primary offensive threats of the opposition to operate.
Redfield wanted a whistle, won't get it. Back on the other end, 3 out of the right hand of Emmanuel Wilson, too long, but Concordia is going to have a second chance. Here's Matthews, left-hand waist-high dribble in the lane, floats it short, and the Stars, yank down the board and will look to convert on the other end. Here's McDermott driving in the lane, uncontested with a right-handed lay-in, 32-30, Stars back in front.
McDermott responsible for 4 points tonight. That's the leading scorer, not named Smith or Redfield for the Stars, as that's a nice drive by Matthews.
Matthews sneaks in with the left hand and ties the ball game up, and we've got an early timeout here in half number 2. 32 apiece, 18:08 to go in the ball game. Playoff implications in the NAC. It's a good one. Stay with us. You're listening to Cougars basketball. Alongside Alex Campbell, Andrew Bellison with you. Friday Night Hoops from River Forest, Illinois. Great contest on our hands here. Tied at 32. Early timeout here in the second half, and you could hear Mark White, the Dominican head coach, barking at his players during that timeout. 23 years at the helm for the Stars, and there's a 3 out of the corner out of the hand of Smith. That'll break the lead 35-32, 3 points now. The Stars, as I was saying, were off to a big lead early in the first half, a 9-point advantage to be exact, and the Cougars came storming back and have played very solid basketball ever since. Second chance opportunity for Chicago, no good. Stars yank down the rebound. It's Andre Hughes. Ahead to Smith. Back out to the corner. 3 attempt out of the hand of Dzinski is long. And Chicago's got it. They keep that up-tempo pace, Alex.
And based on what we've seen, I mentioned in the open over 30 assists this season for Smith. It's as if he scores or assists every basket.
Jordan Matthews looks for help and gets it. It's Dwayne Burns. Now over to the left side, Justin Greenlee. Back to Greenlee, right-hand dribble, into the lane, kicks it to the corner. That's Riddell. 3 is long. Offensive rebound, cleaned up by Wilson. Second chance points here for the Cougars. Off the glass, Wilson. Good job cleaning up underneath.
And that's what I was referencing. Only 2 offensive rebounds in the entire first half for the Cougars. Just getting a few more of those, converting on those second chance opportunities. Again, with neither of these teams really being dominant on the glass in terms of size.
Free throw line, wide open jump shot for Redfield. He converts. 37-34, 3-point advantage again for Dominican. Here's Matthews, hands it off to Greenlee. Now back on top, that's Dwayne Burns Jr. He looks to drive, does so. Through the leg dribble, now looks to spin, needs help. Kicks it back out on top. Jordan Matthews, left-handed 3, hits it, and the game is tied at 37 apiece.
And a tie game seems to keep eliciting timeouts from Dominican. Concordia not able to get that lead yet, but they are right there with the Stars.
So Concordia won't take their foot off the gas. They've tied the game again, 37 apiece, 16-14 to go. Friday night from Geisman Gymnasium at Concordia University, Chicago. We return after this. You're listening to Cougars basketball.
Timeout is number 2, Gavin Richardson.
37-all, 16-14 to go here in this contest between the Cougars and the Dominican Stars. Alex, you alluded to it a couple of times. The offensive glass was quiet for Chicago in the first half, but they picked it up early on here in the second and converted a few second chance opportunities, and it's made quite a difference.
And we saw from Emmanuel Wilson on that last possession, one of a couple of freshmen who've really been huge this season in crashing the boards.
Tight defense by the Cougars forces a miss out of the right-hander Redfield, and Chicago's going to grab the board. Matthews looks to push. He does. Now the corner. That's Burns. Right hand in the lane. Too strong. Anderson there to clean it up for the Stars. Here comes Dominican left to right. Into the corner. That's Jackson Smith. He'll drive into the lane. He's fouled on the way up for the lay-in. Can't convert, but Smith back to the line.
Smith at the line, arguably the best offensive weapon the Stars have, and that includes in this game. Isaac Riddell picks up his second foul, the second foul against the Cougars here in this second half.
Smith 8 of 9 now from the line. 38-37, Stars nursing a 1-point lead. William Bishop Green back in for Chicago, as is Jordan Schmidt.
And I think William Bishop Green could have a huge role to play here in the second half as a guy who's an impact defender, just, clogging up space in the lane, and maybe he's the guy you want matched up with Smith when Smith tries to work in the post.
Miss out of the hand of Smith, 1 for 2. So he'll split the pair of free throws. Dominican's lead remains at a point, 38-37, 15:25 to go here in the ball game. Jordan Schmidt swings it around to Riddell. He's met on top by Andre Hughes. Now Concordia looks to go inside. It's Hatton spinning with the left hand. Handoff to Bishop Green in the lane. Can't convert. Stars want to run the other way. They don't have numbers, but Andre Hughes doesn't care. Left hand dribble in the lane. Now he kicks it back out. Back to Hughes on top. Met by Bishop Green. Into the corner, ball poked away, and it's going to be off Concordia.
We saw in that setup there you had Smith and Redfield split in opposite corners, and everybody in this building knows those are the two guys that the Stars want to get the ball to. So good awareness there by Riddell to know that pass is always coming.
Off the inbound, intercepted by Concordia. That's Brent Hatton. Here comes Chicago the other way, and the finish, Jordan Matthews with the left hand. Cougars suddenly have the lead.
Another defensive breakup. Again, when you already know where the pass is going and the focal points of this offense, it gives you that ability to jump those passes. Great job to start that by Brent Hatton.
19 for Matthews now. Chicago has the lead. Stars going to collect the offensive board. It's KJ Redfield in the lane. He spins to try to convert the second chance, but is hacked on the way up.
In the moment, that's a smart foul by Jordan Schmidt. Now you can talk about bigger picture as we might head toward the bonus later. But you don't want to give anything for free. But an example there where the Cougars got to be able to get that loose ball.
Redfield at the charity stripe, 13 points for him tonight. He's 4 for 4 from the line. Make it 5 for 5. And Alex, really since about midway through that first period, we've seen a fairly big momentum swing in favor of the Cougars.
Late in the first half, like you mentioned, Andrew, you could feel things starting to shift a bit. We're still tied here at 39, but I think if you had to jump into this game right now, you'd rather be the Cougars.
They've clawed back from a 9-point deficit early on in the first half. Second free throw is good as well. Lead back to 1 for the Stars, 14:23 to go, 40-39 Dominican. Jordan Schmidt thought about a long one, now finds his teammate in the lane. That's Brent Hatton, left hand too strong, picked up by Dominican. And Andre Hughes wants to keep that quick tempo going. William Bishop Green meets him on top. Hughes tries to direct traffic. He wants some movement on the offensive side for Dominican. Now the left-hander is going to drive in the lane himself, and an offensive foul. Good take there. As Hatton stood his ground, Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, Brent Hatton with an excellent defensive play there. And Andrew, I want to watch this next possession for Concordia. These last few, they haven't been able to convert those shots. They're not showing a ton of patience right now. I mentioned this early in the game. When the Concordia find themselves trailing, they have a bit of a tendency to try to push a little bit too hard. They got to trust in themselves here to know that even if they take their time, there's enough time left in this game. They know they're better offensively, but they can't be giving the ball away like that. They need every chance they can get.
Trying to find Hatton in the corner. Redfield picks it off. Dominican goes to work again, nursing a 1-point lead. 13:30 to go in the ball game. 40-39 Stars. Here's Redfield in the lane. Can't finish with the right hand. Ball tipped around underneath. Finally come up with by Chicago. It's Matthews. Matthews with 19 tonight, 2 more than his season average. From the corner, long ball attempt. Bishop Green can't hit. Here's the outlet on the other side. Gavin Richardson spinning and converts. He was hit as well. And he's got a chance to convert a 3-point play.
William Bishop Green on the offensive end. We saw there, that's the lack of patience I'm talking about. Bishop Green, not usually a 3-point shooter. The baseline there is wide open. Take that to the hoop. And then on the other end, that's a great play by Gavin Richardson. But it's William Bishop Green's 3rd foul. We've seen several games this season where he's piled up quite a few, and he's going to sub out now. And that hurts the Cougars, given how big of an impact he often is defensively.
Isaac Riddell will come back in for Bishop Green. At the free throw line for the Stars is Richardson. He'll miss. Rebound hauled in by Chicago. So 3-point game now, 42-39, 13 minutes to go in the game, and we're going to get a timeout. Full timeout called here by Concordia and head coach Steve Kohler. 42-39. Cougars trail by 3. Friday Night Hoops will return after this. You're listening to Cougars basketball. With Alex Campbell, Andrew Bellison back at Geisman Gymnasium here in River Forest. Great contest so far tonight. 13:02 left to play. And the visiting Dominican Stars hold a 3-point edge, 42-39. Conference tournament playoff implications on the line. The Cougars entering play tonight as the 4th seed, and with a win here this evening would really help their cause to get into that postseason tournament. They'll run their offense here, just off to our left. Justin Schwartz on top, picks up his dribble, directs traffic into the lane with the left hand, can't get that to fall. Looked like he was hit by KJ Redfield, possibly on the way up.
That is going to be the call. Redfield second.
So heading to the line is Schwartz. He's made 6 starts this year. He's one of the handful of seniors on this Concordia squad. And the first free throw attempt is long. Senior night is tomorrow, and Joel Childers and Kenta Jones, Justin Schwartz, Dwayne Burns, Henry Flanagan, Jalen Meeks, they'll all be honored before that ball game. And what could be a very special weekend if this team can get into the postseason tournament on top of that as well.
Absolutely, but nothing would be better for the mood at senior day and senior night tomorrow than a win here on Friday night to start this weekend.
Out of bounds off Chicago, 42-40, 12:38 to go in the ball game. And Jordan Schmidt's going to check out. Kenta Jones back on the floor for the Cougars. Inbounding from in front of their own bench is Gavin Richardson and Dominican. Andre Hughes directs traffic. He's met by Isaac Riddell. Hughes picks up his dribble, tries to go cross court, right into the hands of Riddell. Back the other way. Right hand, baby hook jump in the lane is good. Tie game, 42 apiece, Alex.
And more great anticipation again. Everyone knows who on Dominican they're trying to get the ball to. And here is Smith in the corner. When you know that pass is coming, you can have a great snag like that from Riddell.
Dylan Anderson kicks it to the corner. It's Redfield. Three is well short, and Concordia is going to let it trickle out of bounds. And inbound to see what they can do offensively now to answer. The defensive effort, Alex, to your point, what you alluded to at halftime, has definitely been noticeably different here in half number 2 for Chicago.
And now we're at a point where just 12 of 40 are the Stars from the field. That shooting number continues to drop.
15 on the shot clock. Jordan Matthews thought about a long three, guarded heavily by Smith, decided against it. Now dribbles around, finds Kenta Jones in the corner, who hits his own. 45-42, Jones with the long ball.
And the first lead of the night for the Cougars.
First points of the night for Jones as well. Timely bucket, 11:24 to go, 45-42. 3-point advantage for the home team.
And more good anticipation there by Isaac Riddell. Stars are going to keep the basketball, but there's been so many hands and feet and just bodies in the passing lanes in this second half from Concordia. Excellent defensive effort. Clearly an emphasis of Steve Kohler's halftime talk.
Absolutely. Adjustments were made, and it's shown. They're out to a 3-point lead now in the ball game. Once down by 9 was Concordia. 45-42. Here's a long three ball out of the right hand of Jackson Smith. He ties the game. Man, he's tough.
And there's what we saw again, that big cross-court pass. You know where it was going, but by the time it's in Smith's hands, it's like it's already halfway home.
Smith with 21 on the night. Here's Chicago on the other end. Underneath, too strong off the glass, out of the right hand of Justin Schwartz. And the Stars push it the other way, simply out hustling there. There's McDermott to finish. And it's 47-45.
A quick little burst there, 2 quick possessions from the Stars. Concordia would love an answer right here.
Chicago slows it down a little bit. Jordan Matthews goes inside. Isaac Riddell thought about taking it to the hoop, now kicks it back out. Jump shot no good out of the hand of Matthews. Stars with the board. They lead by 2, 47-45, coming up on 10 minutes to play in the ball game. Here's Redfield looking for help, can't find it, tosses it out of bounds, and another turnover for Dominican.
I mentioned early in the broadcast, they're second fewest in the conference for turnovers, but in this second half, they're really starting to build up. And as I've mentioned a couple of times, they don't force many turnovers, so that differential starting to get away from the Stars a bit here.
2-point game once again, Concordia trailing 47-45. 10 minutes to go here in this one. Stay with us on this Friday evening. Jordan Matthews looks for help, finds it. It's Hatton. Yes. Hatton with the 3 ball, Alex.
Couple big threes here now midway through this second half for Concordia, adding the long ball to their arsenal here offensively.
Hatton's first field goal of the night. It's a big one. Gives Chicago the lead again by 1. Inside 10 minutes to play. 9:30 and counting. Dominican looking to answer. Anderson spinning in the lane with the right hand. Can't finish. Chicago with the board.
That's some excellent help defense there from Brett Hatton. He saw that Kenta Jones was mismatched and was there for the assist.
Kick out to Hatton again. This time he can't get it to drop. And the lead stays at 1. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, ball went off the shot clock there, and I like Hatton's energy, but again, The Cougars got to stay within themselves. They have to play within their own game, have that patience. If the look is there, take it, but no need to force contested shots.
9:08 remaining. A little bit of backcourt pressure from Chicago and Emmanuel Wilson. Now he'll retreat. Back into the corner. Jump shot long out of the hand of Smith. Here comes Chicago. Hatton's going to slow things down. He didn't have very good numbers. Justin Greenlee working on top. Back over to his left and Wilson. Now back to Greenlee. Catch into the lane. Finds his man Hatton. Kick out. Back to the top. Three is no good out of the hand of Wilson. And Dominican's going to grab the rebound, and there's going to be a whistle after the board.
And I think this is going to be William Bishop Green again. And it is. That's his fourth.
Well, you have to like the scrappy defensive play and his style, but it has led to some foul trouble here this evening.
Absolutely, and I think he was just frustrated with himself. He felt that he should have gotten that offensive rebound. It just went over his fingertips, and so then he's just got that impulse to immediately try to win the ball back. But, you know, I won't call it a freshman mistake, but as a younger player, that is something that maybe there's just not quite enough time there. That thought's not automatic yet. You know, I need to move on and let that go.
It's been a dogfight under the boards here tonight. Here's Anderson, can't finish in the lane. Chicago's going to push it the other way. Right hand layup too strong. Emmanuel Wilson couldn't finish, and now another whistle as Gavin Richardson ended up on the floor for the Stars.
And great defense on the other end by Kenta Jones, who's listed at 5'7", going up against the 6'4" Dylan Anderson, but coming out on top.
So Chicago's going to keep the basketball. They'll inbound underneath their own basket. Long outlet back to Justin Greenlee. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time for the Cougars to reset. And they will. Here's Jones. Left hand low dribble into the lane. Picks it up. Now needs help. Finds Hatton. Hatton gives it to Riddell. Inside the lane. Hop step right hand. No good. Picked up by Hatton. Can't convert again. Second chance no. And the Stars come the other way. Now that ball's intercepted. Riddell again. Into the corner. Mishandled by Wilson. Good ball movement on the perimeter. Shot fake by Hatton. Kicks it to the corner. Jones three. He got it. 51-47 lead for Chicago. Their largest of the night. Forces a timeout. And things have changed here in a hurry, Alex.
And that was the best offensive possession we have seen all night from the Cougars. You know, initially they wanted that corner three from Wilson. He mishandled but kept his composure. They work it all the way around. Hatton fakes the three, kicks to the corner. Kenta Jones wide open, and the little man has hit some big shots in this second half.
You've been talking about it now for a while, but you wanted to see them have a nice possession like that and not settle for a shot that they really shouldn't take.
Absolutely, and you know, we saw that extra thought there from Hatton. I thought he was going to fire that contested three. He fakes the shot, drives the lane, and that opens up that space in the corner for for Jones to back out into, hits the shot. I think we're going to see a lot of Kenta Jones down the stretch in this game. Both offensively and defensively, he is stepping up right now coming off the bench.
Kenta Jones has been very good here in the second half. One of the handful of seniors on this Concordia club. So it was a 30-second timeout for Dominican. They now trail by 4, 51-47. 7 minutes, 41 seconds to play here in half number 2. Concordia looking for their second conference win of the year, third overall, and would likely solidify their postseason tournament chances with a win here tonight. Here's the Stars working left to right, down by 4. Into the hands of Smith in the lane. He kicks it out to McDermott. McDermott fires long off the mark. Rebound grab by Isaac Riddell, and Chicago's going to push it the other way. Here's Riddell getting it down low to Schwartz. Schwartz backing in, spinning, now needs help and finds it in Matthews. Plenty of time for Concordia here, Alex, as they work a new rotation.
Clock now on their side, or maybe they'll feel more that way with the lead, but shot clock running down here.
6 seconds to shoot. Inside the lane, spinning is Schwartz, off the mark. Rebound tapped around, saved by Chicago. Riddell in the corner for 3, no good. Tapped around again, and there's going to be a whistle and a violation. This one's going to go the other way.
J.J. Schwartz going to get, a violation against him there for tying up an opponent and slowing him down to try to let Jordan Matthews get to the ball. And now Cougars out of fouls to give anymore. We'll see free throws.
A lot of time lot to play here, too. 6:50 left to go in the ball game. Chicago with a 4-point lead, 51-47. And Dominican goes back to work on the offensive end. Good lead pass inside to Smith, who finishes the lay-in and is going to be fouled. It looks like the whistle might be on Riddell.
It's going to be Riddell's third, who I thought he had his feet set there, but you got to give credit where it's due to Jackson Smith taking the contact, finishing at the rim. And with his team trailing, he knows he's got to be the guy. He's the only guy who it's going to be if they're going to pull back ahead.
Double-double for him, 26 points now, 11 boards. Came in averaging 27 a game, so one would assume he'd blow past that number, and has been as advertised here tonight. Free ball rattles around the front of the rim, no good. Rebound picked up by Riddell. So 51-49, 2-point game now with 6.5 left to play, and Chicago's going to slow it down a little bit. Here's Greenlee working off a screen at the top. Back to his left and Riddell. Now they go underneath and kick it back to the top. Good perimeter movement. Penetrating is Greenlee. Picks up his dribble, needs help. Finds Emmanuel Wilson cutting to the basket.
More great patience from the Cougars. That whole possession began with that screen, which put Anderson on Greenlee. That's a mismatch. Greenlee uses his better speed to get into the lane, and that allows him to find Wilson. All coming together for the Cougars on that trip, and here we go again.
Here's Schwartz poking this one away. He's going to take it the other way himself. Is fouled on the way up. Dylan Anderson looked like he grabbed the arm of Schwartz, but another good defensive play on this end.
We've seen Concordia just flip a switch there these last couple of possessions. We see the patience and what that can yield with the Wilson bucket, and then on the other end, Schwartz really aggressive, forces the turnover, scoring opportunity at the other end.
Schwartz makes good on his first. He's got 2 points tonight. 53-50. And the second, no good. So 54-49, the score with 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining here in this ball game. Dominican on the ropes after a first half 9-point lead. 3 attempt out of the hand of Jackson Smith, too strong. Somehow Dominican fought for the board. That's Redfield who comes up with the basketball.
And the shot clock didn't reset, so we're going to start this possession fresh. But that last shot, an example, we saw him make a few earlier, but Jackson Smith taking a contested 3 at this point in the game, I think the Cougars will be okay with that shot.
Had no doubt about it, Alex. Definitely seen a lot more patient offensive sets for Chicago as well, and that's given them the opportunity to have a 5-point lead here with just about 5 minutes left to play. Here's Dominican. Kick out to Anderson. Left wing 3, no good. Rebound, Dominican again in the lane. Gavin Richardson can't convert. Tough defense under the boards. It's been a fight down there all game. Here's a pull-up jumper out of the hand of Matthews. That's going to go out of bounds, and Dominican's going to grab the ball back.
Looking quickly, though, we talked about any shot that's not taken by Smith is a good shot. Outside of him and Redfield, the rest of the Stars have made 3 field goals tonight.
5 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's a 3 attempt. Good. Out of the hand of McDermott.
That's some version of the commentator's curse there as someone other than Redfield or Smith hits a bucket.
2-point game now. Chicago nurses the small lead. 4:45 to go, 54-52. Chicago operating now on the left end of the floor. Inside 10 seconds to shoot. Wilson penetrates the lane, now kicks it back out to Hatton. He thought about a 3, now gets tied up as he tries to approach the basket. And Dominican's got a man down in front of the Concordia bench, and it looks to be Jackson Smith.
It is a little slow to get up. He's going to walk it off, but he hit the floor hard. The foul, I believe, is against KJ Redfield, which would be his third.
Indeed, that is the case, Alex. Third on Redfield, and man, Smith is all over the floor. He has been down hard several times tonight. He plays with a lot of passion.
You can't fault him for any lack of effort, which, that's what we would have expected given the fact he's the leading scorer in the conference for a team that struggled.
Riddell off the inbound, now finds Matthews, who can't get it to fall with the left hand. Score remains 54-52. 4:15 to go here in the ball game. Stars working on the other end. It's going to be Smith firing a three in front of us. The ball's out of bounds. Wisely let go by Isaac Riddell.
And if you're Dominican, I mean, that was uncharacteristic. You want to make sure that Smith is okay right now. We see him hit the floor really hard on that last possession, and then a really uncharacteristic air ball on an uncontested shot. The priority right now for Dominican, they might want to make sure their star man is good to be out there.
He'll scamper back to the bench. Full timeout called by Steve Kohler and the Cougars. They lead by 2, 54-52, 4:08 to go. We return after this. This is a presentation of Cougars Athletics men's basketball. With Alex Campbell, Andrew Bellison back at Geisman Gymnasium. 4:08 to go in the ball game, and it's been a very good one so far, Alex.
Not the highest scoring game, but the second half in particular, Andrew's been really competitive, really hard fought. Cougars been holding this slim lead for a while now. 4:08 to go. I imagine we're going to see just as intense of a finish as the last 15 minutes or so have been.
Well, you talked about Jackson Smith hitting the floor hard again on that last possession for Dominican, or for the Cougars rather, and he's back in the ball game after taking a seat on the bench for a brief timeout, but he looks to be okay. Tough senior, leading scorer on this club. Here's Chicago in the lane, left hand off the glass, good. Brent Hatton backs his way in and extends the Concordia lead to 4.
Brent Hatton due to get a roll like that. The rim has not necessarily been his friend tonight, but it was there. Big basket.
Cross-court ball movement for the Stars. Anderson on the top, puts it on the ground. Now pass is picked off. Here comes Chicago. They'll slow it down.
Great awareness there by Isaac Riddell. He didn't have the numbers. Clock's on his team's side. And another great pass read. That entire Stars possession was designed to get Smith the ball. Riddell in the way at the vital moment.
Well said, Alex. 56-52. Chicago with the 4-point lead. 3:10 to play. It's Greenlee on top. Chest pass to Matthews. 6 to shoot, now 5 seconds. Matthews, left-hand dribble. Step back, jump shot out of the left hand. Well short, out of bounds. Riddell tried to save it, but too late. Not a great possession there.
No, Jordan Matthews, the guy you're going to want shooting that ball. It's not a bad shot. He stepped back to get some separation, but yeah, you don't want to be in a desperate situation if you're the Cougars here. You do have a 2-possession lead in this game, but 4 points can disappear in an instant if you're not careful.
28-22, the Cougars have outscored Dominican here in the second half. Make it 28-24 as Anderson finishes underneath. It's a 2-point game now, 56-54, 2:40 to go.
Smith with the assist on that occasion. When he's got the ball, a shot normally isn't far behind.
Steve Kohler yelling for separation from the Cougars bench. Layup is short out of the hand of Riddell, and the Stars are going to grab the rebound and come the other way. Let's see how they can answer. Down by 2 here on the road. Uncontested through the lane. Can't get it to fall out of the hand of McDermott. McDermott retreats defensively. Here's Jordan Matthews.
Big possession here for the Cougars. Whether they score or not, got to be smart here.
Riddell thought about a 3, decided against it. Now it's Hatton driving, kicks it out to Matthews with the right hand. Back to Hatton, right hand dribble in the lane, off the glass, around the iron, and good. 58-54, 4-point lead once again inside 2 minutes, Alex.
And Jordan Matthews taking the ball away here. Cougars going for more.
They'll wisely slow things down. 1:36 to go. Hand it off to Matthews, who's going to direct traffic along with head coach Steve Kohler from the Cougars bench.
And a huge offensive possession on that last one. Exactly what I was hoping the Cougars would do. Patience and a good shot at the end of it.
Scrappy defense from the Cougars here in this second half. Here's Hatton with a three-point fake. Now drives the lane. Right hand off the glass. Good. And a foul.
Brent Hatton taking over the game in the final 2 minutes. What a couple of possessions for number 10.
Hatton converts in the lane and traffic before the free throw. We've got a timeout called by Dominican. They suddenly find themselves down 6. Great crowd here at Geisman Gymnasium tonight. Friday Night Hoops. Let's take a break. We'll be back after this. 6-point lead for the Cougars. You're listening to Concordia Chicago Basketball. So the foul before the timeout was on Gavin Richardson. Brent Hatton makes good on the free throw attempt to complete the three-point play. It's now a 7-point advantage for the homestanding Cougars. They lead 61-54. Buck 16 left to go here in this ball game. This would be a huge win for this Cougars team on senior weekend here in River Forest. Stars look to answer, down by 7 with time running out. Handoff, fighting in the lane, off the rim, no good from Smith, and the Cougars pull down the board.
Nice combination there by Burns and Wilson, forcing Smith onto his weak side.
Time on their side, now out to Dwayne Burns Jr., who's hacked by Jackson Smith with 48.8, and now both clubs in the bonus here as we retreat inside a minute, Alex.
All about the free throws here. 7-point game right now. Already a 3-possession game, but you still want to extend it as much as you can if you're the Cougars here and really put this one away.
Burns long off the iron on the free throw attempt. Ball batted around, and they're going to give it to Chicago. Well, it looked like the official under the basket didn't get a clean look at it. He referred to the ref that's out in front of us to our left who made the call and keeps the ball here on the left side of the floor for Chicago.
One task here, just get the ball in bounds. You know Dominican's going to foul.
61-54, Cougars with the lead, and they do get it in bounds to Isaac Riddell. Foul called, Gavin Richardson. Riddell's going to head to the line, 46 ticks to go.
Riddell 76% on the season, or 75%, excuse me, from the line. Is checking right back in is Dwayne Burns, again, as a guy who's looked to by Steve Kohler as a solid defender.
Burns, yeah, very active defensively tonight. Riddell's first free throw attempt hits the bottom of the net, 62-54, 8-point advantage, 46 ticks to go. Well, Alex, it was really a tale of two halves as this second half defensively for Concordia Chicago was a completely different ball game.
Absolutely. We're looking at the scores from half to half. They've also upped their offensive production, though. They've got 34 points in this second half after a 28-point slow offensive half for both sides. But again, we've seen, the Stars struggle to shoot from the field. They're 17 of 55 tonight. That's just not going to get it done. Jackson Smith has been, shrunk as an influence in the second half as he almost gives the ball away again as Isaac Riddell knocks it away. The Cougars have had a clear defensive strategy in this second half. Get in the passing lanes that lead to Jackson Smith, and that's yielded excellent results.
39.1 to go, 8-point game. Dominican's going to inbound to Anderson, who hits the three. So that makes things a little more interesting with 36.7 seconds to go. It's 62-57. and a timeout is called.
And it's a I'll say 2-point game, even though it's a 5-point game on the scoreboard. 2 bullet points the rest of the way for the Cougars. It's only 36 seconds, but it's going to feel a lot longer. Inbound the ball, make your free throws, and you win the game. It sounds simple, but the Stars are going to make sure that it's a lot harder than it sounds to do.
Absolutely, Alex. Obviously, the Concordia fate is in their own hands as they talk things over with head coach Steve Kohler on the sideline now in this timeout. 62-57, and as we mentioned a little while ago, this second half, much different story than it was in the first. Concordia outscoring the Stars by 7 here in the second half. They were down by 2 at halftime. So here we go, play set to resume. They'll inbound underneath the Dominican basket. It's going to be Emmanuel Wilson on the baseline to inbound. He does so to Matthews, who's met right away by Redfield. And Matthews will scamper over to the other side of the floor to shoot a couple of free throws.
And this is exactly what the Stars did not want. Anybody but Jordan Matthews is better for them to be at the line from their perspective. Matthews, an excellent free throw shooter, looking to put this game away for the Cougars.
3 out of 4 from the charity stripe tonight is Matthews. Here's his attempt. And he makes good on that. (63-57). Here comes attempt number 2 for Matthews. And he converts them both. 2 big free throws there, Alex, coming down the stretch.
Absolutely. Jordan Matthews, 23 points on the night to lead the Cougars as we've come to expect. Still got a chance if he gets a couple more free throws to catch Jackson Smith for the game.
64-57, 34 to go. Stars, crazy fast pace up the floor in the lane. Layup is good for Smith at 64-59, 5-point game. Concordia does get the ball inbounds, and Emmanuel Wilson is met by pressure right away. Luke McDermott's going to be called for the foul, I believe.
Double check with the referees. No, I think they're going to give the foul to Anderson, actually.
Okay.
That's Anderson's third.
Dylan Anderson it is. Nonetheless, Wilson heads to the line, 5-point lead. Need a couple of more to really make you feel good coming down the stretch here.
Shot clock now off. Something to watch for is the Cougars, if they get the ball back in a non-shooting situation, can run this clock out. But I don't think the Stars are going to give up the fight yet. 28 seconds, still a lot of time.
Wilson with double digits now tonight. As Jordan Schmidt checks out of this ball game.
And Andrew, what did I talk about as the biggest key to the Cougars winning a game in our opening? Scoring depth. That is now 4 Cougars in double figures. And when you get that, good things generally follow.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, Alex. Led by Jordan Matthews with 23. Hatton's got 10. Riddell with 12. Emmanuel Wilson now with 10, and another free throw upcoming here. Definitely been a group effort by this squad, and it shows the way they've played here in the second half and come storming back from an early 9-point deficit in the first.
Absolutely, and William Bishop Green with 28 seconds left back on the floor with his 4 fouls.
Wilson converts a pair. 7-point lead once again, 26 seconds to go. Stars got to fire up a 3-ball that's going to be short out of the hand of Richardson, and Concordia pulls down the rebound. It's Brent Hatton, and he's fouled back on the other end, and we'll do the free throw game again.
That's Anderson's 4th now. I said off mic at halftime, this feels like a game someone's going to foul out in. We're getting closer.
Still 19 seconds for your premonition to come true. Just had that kind of feel, didn't it?
That's a confident free throw right there from Brent Hatton.
Hatton makes good on his first. 8-point advantage now for Chicago, and converts a pair. 68-59. That should just about do it for this ball game. Here's the Stars on the other end.
Taking a lot of time here.
Ball batted around and tipped. Inside 10 seconds to go, and Dominican fouls again. Kind of surprised, 9-point game, but still 7.6 ticks to go. I guess you never know.
I thought Brent Hatton had gotten cleared there, but Luke McDermott picks up his 4th anyway, and I'm sure Concordia will gladly take the padded stats here, both on the overall scoreboard and Brent Hatton personally here, 2 more free throws.
First one up and in, 69-59, 10-point advantage now for Chicago, and a chance to hit that 70-point mark, which is impressive.
Well, I think you got to say for Dominican, it's been a tough season. They fought really hard in that first half, but ultimately the flaws we had seen on paper just came back to bite them, as that's another 3 short, and that's going to do it.
Concordia walks away a winner and likely solidifies their postseason playoff berth. 70-59 the final. A hard-fought game and a tale of two halves, really, Alex. The second half was a display of a lot of good basketball on both ends of the floor for the Cougars.
Absolutely. Cougars strong, as you mentioned, offensively and defensively. They win the half 42-29, and I think Steve Kohler will love the way his team is feeling right now coming out of tonight and into senior day, the final home game and final game of the regular season coming up tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Alex, it was a pleasure tonight. Alex will be back shortly with head coach Steve Kohler and a little post-game interview to wrap up this one. Once again, 70-59, Cougars with the win. Final regular season game tomorrow against these Dominican Stars. Thanks for being with us, Friday Night Hoops. For Alex Campbell, this is Andrew Bellison thanking you. From Geisman Gymnasium, Cougars a winner. This has been a presentation of Concordia Basketball.
Welcome back here to Geisman Gymnasium. Alex Campbell now joined by head coach Steve Kohler of Cougars men's basketball. And coach, we're going to skip over the first half. It was hard fought, but I don't think either team wants to dwell on a lot of the details too much. But what a second half for your squad. I mentioned to Andrew in the opening something you and I have talked about this season. When you guys get scoring depth, good things happen. 4 guys in double figures tonight for you.
It's huge. It's huge. Yeah, absolutely. Credit to the guys. we challenged them big time at halftime. We just said, you can't expect this thing just to happen. You got to go take it. They want to win too, and we just weren't doing any of the little things. I mean, Jackson Smith was killing us in the first half, not only just on, scoring, but on the glass. And we had to compete. We had to get to who we are and understand, it's not just going to happen. You got to make it happen. And I thought we started getting after it defensively. We only had 5 offensive rebounds, which is brutal. But I think, what did we have? Maybe 3 probably, or 4 even in the second half. So I love our guys' response.
Absolutely. You mentioned Jackson Smith, who had a really strong first half. At the collegiate level, I always hesitate to call any squad a one-man team. Jackson's as close as you're often going to see. At halftime, what were the adjustments? What did you tell your guys that allowed you to shut them down a bit more? Because it felt like you guys were telepathic in that second half, always in the passing lane when the Stars were trying to get them the ball.
Well, that's just how we guard. They were getting too many easy reversals and wing entries, and we just challenged them when we amped it up a little bit. We deny on the wing. We deny the reversal. And they had other guys that stepped up too. I mean, KJ Redfield stepped up. And made plays. But you can't let that same guy continue to beat you. So we made a few adjustments when he put it on the floor, and just had to be better one-on-one defensively as well.
A game that didn't see you guys take all that many threes, but it felt like the moment in the second half where things really turned around. Emmanuel Wilson hit a couple big shots. Kenta Jones hit two big shots. And I think sandwiched in between the 2 threes, he had an awesome defensive stop against a guy seemingly twice his size.
Yep.
So you're getting contributions all over the lineup tonight.
Absolutely. We were kind of stagnant there for a little while, and KJ hit those huge threes. That's a senior stepping up and making plays. On our scout, we put that McDermott plays like a senior. He makes big plays late. KJ played like a senior tonight. That was huge. And then I thought JJ's defensive play where he jumped the gap, down there, that was huge. Ended up getting to the free throw line. I think, our defense gets us rolling, and we're better offensively.
Absolutely. You mentioned Kenta Jones playing like a senior. Tomorrow is senior day, final home game of the regular season.
Yep.
Obviously, you'd love to win again and go into the conference tournament off back-to-back wins. But for you as a coach, when you come to the end of the years, even a shortened, crazy, weird year like this one, how do you look at that game tomorrow? It's the last game not only of your season here at home, but the last game of, in the collegiate careers here at Geisman for some of your players.
Yeah, absolutely. The best way that we can honor those guys is take care of business tomorrow. Be the most connected team in the country, play our tail off for them, and send them off with a win, And then also, we're going to continue to keep playing. So we want to continue to get better and keep playing our best basketball. And anybody that plays in that game tomorrow is expected to perform. And we're going to definitely come out and compete, and we obviously want to win that.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to it. Tip-off about 5 p.m. tomorrow night here at Geisman Gymnasium. Please join us for that. For Andrew Bellison and for Coach Steve Kohler, thanks for taking the time as always. I'm Alex Campbell. Thanks for joining us tonight. Please join us tomorrow for senior night here for the Cougars.